Yeah, today we will just go through the top tier items like which are not important. It's quite complex items, like it's not used all everywhere, but we'll just let you know how it is, what it is, and where it is used. Okay. So first item is holiday profiles. I'll tell you what it is. Okay. Holiday profiles. I showed you that we can assign holidays through payrolls, right? There is one more way to assign holidays, which is through holiday profiles. You can create different profiles and different holidays. Okay. So if you see here, holiday profiles means you can give one name to it, and we need to select a particular credit rule. If we have gone through here, I have already told you about the holiday credit rules. So how many hours to credit, whether it should credit based fixed hours or hours based on schedule. These are the items which we do in holiday credit rules. What holiday profiles means, we can directly assign a particular holidays and credit rules through payrolls, or we can do it through holiday profiles also. Holiday profiles also, we can create a holiday profile and we can assign it to an employee. There are two ways where we can do it. We can do it through payrolls or we can do it through holiday profiles. Holiday profiles will be helpful in a way that if your like holidays are location based. Example, if you take India, each state will have a different holiday. So they are like if he's the same type of employee also, based on his working location, his holiday will differ. So in that case, assigning holidays through payroll will not be a good idea. In that case, we can go with holiday profiles. So based on, because for each employee, we can, based on his working location, we can create a holiday profile. Example, see here, holiday profile New York. So similarly, we can create location-based holiday profiles, and we can select what holidays for that particular location. So whatever the holidays we have created under this name, this holidays, this is a master sheet, right? Which will have a list of all the holidays, national, state, everything. Out from that, this like we'll have all the holidays which are available there. We can pick up what holiday is needed for this particular New York, or like if it is Tamil Nadu, if it is Kerala, if it is Karnataka, we can create one profile for each and select the list of holidays needed for that particular state. Okay. Clear on that?
Yes, sir.
This we can directly assign it to the employees people tab itself. Okay, so that is about the holiday profiles. Then another item here is cascading policy and cascading profile. I'll give an overview when we go through accruals, because it is somewhat related to the accruals. So I'll give you an overview when we go through that. And now wage profiles, I think we are not using it anywhere. Let me see if someone has created anything. No, they might have not. And percent allocation rule is also not used. Let me see. Yeah. Adjustment rule, I'll teach you what is adjustment rule. 1 second. So what this adjustment rule is used is, say like if an employee is working in a particular department or particular job, something, right? If you want to give him some bonus or some fixed payment in addition to his what he is getting. Okay. Say like now example, if in India we will give Diwali bonuses, right? For people who are working like lower level like janitors, security people. Like we will not be getting any bonus because we are doing white collar, but other people who are at the lower level, they will be getting bonuses for a particular like jobs. They will be giving bonuses, right? So these kind of things we can achieve it through adjustment rules if you want to give a particular bonus. So here we can like choose for whom we need to provide it, either directly through the job or through labor account. These, like if I'll show you where these job and labor account comes into. So labor account is the primary labor account, which is attached here. So based on a particular this, okay, I'm going to give only for this healthcare Australia nurses. If I choose this particular labor account only for this nurse, this particular rule will be enabled. This is not widely used, but interview like prospective, if someone is asking a question like what is this, like you should be able to little bit answer on that what exactly it's doing. We can give a bonus or we can give a wage adjustment. Bonus means nothing. We can, okay, like in both item you need to pick a labor account. In my case, like I'm not saying anything, I'm just choosing. I'm going to choose which company, which job, which department I'm going to pick. Maybe, okay, I'll go with. First, let me pick a region. India. Then a division. Maybe healthcare. Then facility. And some facility. I'm just giving you an example. And job. Like it's not mandatory that we should have everything. We can have one item selected from here, and whoever is having this job, we can give them bonus, or whoever is meeting these 4 conditions, for them we can give bonus. It depends on our convenience, like what is our requirement. We can just have one field which is job registered nurse. So all the registered nurse who is like whoever is having this labor account value 7 as registered nurse will be getting it. But now we have chosen these 4 conditions. So whoever is meeting these conditions, they will be getting a bonus. So if we give like this, so only these employees, whoever is meeting this condition is eligible. We can select a particular pay code under which we need to give a bonus, whether it's a regular overtime or we have a separate code for bonus. Under what pay code we need to give them bonus, that we can define. Okay, and again, we can see how much whether we need to give it as a fixed amount, how many hours we need to give, and like it is like it's like how much if even if you choose 10 hours, how much whether it's only once or it can be continued. Like these items can be chosen in this adjustment rule. Mostly what we like for what purpose these people will be using this is they will be using it just for providing some adjustment if an employee is working in a different department. Example, say I am from a particular department. I'm going to work in a different department. In that case, I need a separate rate. Or say I am from like California, I'm going to work in another state. So that state, they might have a different like wage rule or adjustments. So in that case, they can use this. Like they can select, okay, if the employee is going into this particular rule, then he needs to get an additional adjustment, like add 1 hour to his like working hours. Like whatever he is working, he should get an additional hour of payment. Or we can give a multiplier. Example, if he's going to work in a particular this department, then like we can give like multiplier means, you know, the multiplier, like we can choose it as 1.5 means it will give him us in a 1.5 rate if he's working in this particular department. If it's a flat rate, we can choose a particular rate and give an amount. It will give that additional amount, $100 as extra. So this will be applicable only if he goes and works in this department. I might be from a different department. This is directly assigned to each employee's or like person term itself. So example, whoever needs this, only for them we can create it and add it. Like mostly we'll not be using it in some rare retail businesses where the employees will be switching to different roles frequently. In that places, few companies might be using this. Where is it? 1 second. This adjustment rule, person allocation rule, everything, if you need to map it, you can directly map it in this. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, here. You can map the adjustment rule and person allocation rule to an employee directly on the same people like editor itself. If something is created. Currently, we don't have anything. So I'm leaving like that. So that is all about what are the items we have here, like the person allocation rule. So holiday profiles will be using it. In some companies, they might assign holidays through payrolls. Some companies will still use the holiday profiles to assign it. So there are two ways. But adjustment rule, person allocation, wage profiles, these are very rarely used. And like only from like interview perspective, we just need to know what it is. That's it. Yeah. So today I'll go through few other lighter topics under uh, what we say the common setup. So I think for
Okay.
Kiran, I have already showed you what the commands is about. So for
Hmm.
Imad, it's so in common setup we have something called commands. Uh, Imad. So what this is used is if you go to an employee's time card. One second. Let me choose our employee. There is change method. So if you go to an employee and put in a punch, like maybe I'll go to the previous paper. Okay, we have punches like 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, and like then sometimes employee might come at 5 a.m. as requested by the manager. So if there is some discrepancy in the time card, say it is stating like unscheduled or something like this, right? There is an exception, or say employee comes in at 6 a.m. and leaves early by 2 p.m. Okay, so in that case, the Kronos would flag it as early out. But the employee has informed the manager and stating that he has a medical emergency or he has a personal emergency. So when someone else sees his time card, they might note he's leaving early. So if a manager wants to uh, put a command here and like make it visible to everyone, stating the reason why he has left early, it would be ideal in most situations. So for that, what the manager will do is he'll just right click on it. Once you right, he'll get these items like markers reviewed, edit, and comments. Okay, so he can choose the comments here. So there are a set of commands which will be already inbuilt in the system, or we can even create it. Whether he has informed on his absence or whether he has not informed, whether it's a like example in my case, I'm choosing the command. We can create a number of commands. I'm choosing a personal emergency. I'll add it. Okay. So now we'll get a command symbol here, and whether it's a manager or payroll admin or OPCO HR, whoever goes in, he can go here and just see, okay, this guy has left early on 2 p.m., but it's some valid reason. There's some personal emergency. That is the reason he has left the uh, like factory or the company. So where we create these commands is in this place. Under setup, under common setup, we have commands. Here is the area where we'll be creating these commands. If you see here, we have a set of commands here. So this is the place we'll be creating those commands. Command profile is nothing. We will group commands into different profiles. Say example, I want a particular set of employees to see only few commands, or a manager to see only 3 commands. And then I'll choose those 3 commands and I'll put it under a name, and I can assign it to directly the employees people editor, so that he will be able to see only those commands, just to filter out what like not like visibility of commands, like not giving all the commands visibility, but just a few commands. For that, we can go ahead with command profiles. So now let me take you through some other items like server, like where the server address would be, like how many licenses we have. These details, everything is available under system configuration. So we are not supposed to make any changes or anything addition, creation, anything under this. This particular module is read only. You should only go to see the details. That's it. So under system configuration, we have an option called system information. This is like a setup to the Kronos itself. Okay. So here we can see what are all the servers this particular instance we have. Since this is a web like cloud-based instance, we will have only one application server. That's it. If the Kronos currently there are two types. We can have a cloud instance or on-premise. So if it is on-premise, they will be using maybe 2-3 like servers to do different like jobs mostly. But if it is a cloud-based application, currently people are migrating to cloud only. It will have maybe 1 or 2 servers. That's it.
Right.
Okay. And if you want to see whether the server is working correct, you can click on this. So it will show you the heartbeat. It should fetch some heartbeat. It should not be zero. And you can see the status as connected. That means it is currently connected and it's communicating properly. So this is about the web server of our current instance. What is our web? Even if someone is asking, like there will be third-party tool, how to connect with our server means if you just click on the server name, it will give you the IP address, what is the host name, what are the other URL, how to connect through this. So we'll get those details from here. Okay. So this is about the details of the server. And then if you go here, applications, one second, what is the application? Nothing will be there. So this is again other modules whichever is attached to it. So if someone comes and asks like what version of Kronos you are using, and particularly each module, what are the version you are using, just you can go through and just say like 8.1.9. It will be available at the top of the URL itself. If you want to be specific with what item exactly you are using, like you can come here and see it here. Okay, so this is the version. They will be upgrading from one version to another. Currently, the latest version is I think 8.1.14 or something. So each version will come up with some certain new features and will be overcoming previous versions failures. So this is where we check it out. So these are different modules available within Kronos and what version each item are there in our particular instance. Mostly all the items will be in the same instance unless a client requests like I need only these like these particular module attempts to be in a like older version. Then the system, the Kronos people will help them to keep it only that particular item in lower and other items in the recent version. Okay, and then here if you see, we can also get the details of the database. So first thing, if like something is not working, check here whether the database is online. Yes, and if you want to connect to the system's database, this is where you can find the details like what is the server name, what is the what is the database servers, how to access it. This is the like ID how you can use it in the Citrix or some other places to access the database server for this particular instance. Okay, so we see how the server is working and other items. And the next item is the licenses. So how many employee licenses we have? That means in this instance, you see here, workforce timekeeper, we have 1900 license and 43 is in use and still we have our. That means we can load up to 1900 employees in this particular application, this particular instance. We can load even 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs employees, but we need to purchase the licenses from the Kronos team. Currently, this instance, CloudFoundation has purchased 1900 employee license and 755 manager license. That means we can have 1900 employees and up to 755 managers in the system.
So we
Sorry,
have to
not
pay
thousands.
per person, right? Like license wise.
It's not per person. Like it's like if you purchase 2,000 licenses, it's this much rate. If you go for 10,000 licenses, this much rate. That's it.
Okay.
And some places it's a one-time cost. Some clients will be paying it like yearly.
Okay.
So this is the area where we can see those details. So what are the modules we have access to? So based on the licenses we have. That's it from here. Then like this has nothing. It's
In
just showing like
implementation project, approximately how many the developers will be as per your experience?
implementation project. It depends on the client's timeline and the number of modules they are going to implement. Some clients
Okay.
will have one simplified example. Say there are even more modules compared to this. There will be budgeting setup, everything is there, but mostly clients will be using pay policies, accruals, organization setup, scheduling these items. So it depends on the employee count. So if a company is having a maybe 15,000 employees
Mhm.
and they are using basic items, in that case, they can implement Kronos by having like mostly what happens during the initial implementation is the bulk of the work Kronos takes for the initial implementation. Okay. Because
Okay.
they need to give the license, they need to implement the modules in the system, and then you need to give them your requirement and they will do the initial configuration. Some places you can have a discussion with them and configurations you can create initially, but integrations and other stuffs for the first time they will be doing it. So if you have around 50,000 employee count and if maybe basic setup to be created, you can have 5 to 6 resources for the initial implementation from your end, and Kronos will give you a dedicated team based on the workload, and you need to have interaction with them. And what our work will be for the initial implementation would be testing out what are the features they are providing us, whether it is working as expected.
Okay.
But once we go live and say, okay, we are going live with we have 15 subcompanies. First, we have implemented Kronos to 1 or 2 companies, and then we are going to implement it through for one company per year or 2, 3 companies per year. In that case, you will want the more bulk of the work, like because once it is implemented, you will have access to these modules. So integrations and other items, maybe few standalones, you can get the support from them. Apart from that, all other pay policies and other things if you want to do means if you have maybe 2,000 employees per sub company, you might need to have a example. If it is 2,000, you approximately it will take 6 to 8 months to go implement the Kronos to them, and you might need at least like one resource to support from the Kronos end and 3 Kronos resource at your end.
Okay.
If it is a 2,000, 3,000 employees, you need to implement within a 6 to 8 month time period. You might need 3 Kronos resource at your end.
Okay. For the
And
integration process, they'll be helping out like the Kronos
yeah, they will
side,
be
or
helping out.
as a developer,
Yeah,
we need to have a knowledge on.
mostly Kronos people, they will be having knowledge on integration also. So
Okay.
initial integrations are basic integration like loading the persons into the application and doing the payroll export. They will have a default template and there will be cost attached to it. They can deploy it to you on initial implementation, but you want your own customized one, you can also develop it from the scratch. Uh,
Mhm.
like Kronos people mostly they will be having like knowledge on the integration and SQL, so they can self do it. I'm telling along with the integration, 3 people is enough for doing the migration process. So because integration wise, it depends on the client. Most clients will be using only simplified integration, like loading the people into system, and payroll is going to be same for all the people who are in a particular instance. Other than that, few fine tuning integrations. it won't take much time, more than 6 to 8 months. Say 3 people you have, you can use one for dedicatedly for integration, and 2 is enough for configuration.
Abhi, I have a question. So let's say, you get a requirement from a client, right, to configure the payrolls and stuff. So once this is done, right? I
Yeah.
mean, in the real world, what does it happen? Like you wait for the next project, or how is like how things goes, with as an expert.
No, it's like how you have the projects. Like it's not like you only work on implementations. Like you'll be supporting them, and it depends
Like
on
a
the
support
model where
desk,
you are.
like if they want further help, is that how it is?
No, they will raise tickets. You can like you'll be working on the tickets or user stories. It depends on the project model, whether you are on the waterfall or agile. If it is agile, what type of agile it is? Agile means you will be getting works based on sprints. The sprint
Yeah.
can be either 15 days or 21 days. So each 21 day you might be assigned with a user story. You need to work on it. And once you complete it, next week they will as a filter something. They will always have work on that. Agile is like that. Based on that only, like, how much work will be there, planned on that only, they will be having resources also. If it's a waterfall model, it's like you will have a daily activities, weekly activities. If you are from the support team, if you are from the development team, whatever the issues like they are facing with any of the pay policies, existing pay policies, or existing integrations or existing approvals, that will come to us as a service request to you. You can work on it. And if there is any enhancements that needs to be done, that you can do. Or if there is any new policy needs to be created, that will come to you.
Got it. So what's the
And more,
scenarios like on a daily like in the real world? Like like is it like a lot of the environments are waterfall, or like what kind of scenarios?
no, so, like there are companies which doesn't fall into any of this category. Also, they are not following any process. They're just like sitting it out. But
Oh,
companies
okay.
widely use either waterfall or agile.
Okay,
Agile is
okay.
actually used in areas where they go ahead and make multiple enhancements, and they are on top of their work. Like their Kronos project will be very much standardized and stabilized. So initial
Okay.
implementation, people used to go with the waterfall. Once somewhat the project is getting stabilized, then they might choose agile. And some companies they will stick to waterfall itself. Like when work comes, we will do other like rest of the time is like maybe we can have our like enjoy our time. It depends on the client and the agreement you have with the people, like the
Right.
client and our.
Right. Okay.
Whether you work or not, you are going to get paid. Like that's how the most of the Kronos agreement is. Per hour, this much is the dollar. They will quote and they will sign the agreement. So it's like the client is supposed to give me work. Then the what we define is this much amount of work will be done from our team. That's it. So if they don't give that much amount of work, that doesn't is not going to bother us. Client
You're
needs
right.
to pay for that amount of work. That's it.
Okay.
Again, in agile model, it's the same. They're like, we will be promising we will be working these number of points for a particular sprint. It is the work of a scrum master or the someone from the client side to create that many user stories and give you that many points for the particular start of the sprint. If they are not able to provide say 100 points is promised for a sprint, they are not able to bring 100 points user stories. Whatever they are going to bring, we are going to work on it. That's it.
Got it.
Like we cannot exactly define it, Imad, how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
get into a project, you'll get an idea. Like it's entirely different from for each project. Some project the work will be hectic. Some project it will be very lenient. The client will be very supportive. They will give just a minimal work. They will ask you to work only for 3 to 4 hours per day and dedicate your other times to the calls. Some projects are like that. You will have more calls. Agile model mostly will have around 2.5 hours call per day.
Got it. Got it.
I like what I'm telling is like I cannot generalize it how it will be.
Oh no,
So
no, for sure. Yeah.
each project is different. So yeah, this is the major area which is needed for the other all the projects. Most work will come in this and this accruals, even if it is a agile or work for like waterfall. Because when a population moves into the Kronos or an existing population is facing issues, mostly it will be of accruals and pay policies and then integration. So integration we are not touching because it's completely a different tool, integration tool. But these two will be the giving you the bulk work. And then there are other items which will come once in a while, like changing the access profiles or changing some display items, creating new genies. These items will come under. I'll take you through these sessions after the accruals. You'll go through access profiles and display profiles. Okay, so these also works will be coming up, but it will be very rare. Mostly we'll be using this stick to the what we have already the system, or maybe one or two enhancements in a year. That's it.
Got it.
Yeah. And for data integration prospects, even if you use any of the integration tool, you need to have these connections to be set up in that particular integration tool. This is the if you go to data integration, you'll have connections. In that connection, if you open, there will be 3 connections. So this is the connection which you will be using it to connect through to communicate with this particular Kronos instance. They'll be asking for what is the database URL, what is the username, password. This is the details which you have in the system itself, and also like XML API connections and these items. Whatever the connection strings are there, it will be stored under data integration connections. And one more thing which is available here is mapped folders. We will have vim in and vim out. This is directly stored under the server under these folders. In server system, under C, Kronos, under interface designer, we will have these 2 folders. This is specifically for Vim is for the like it's a folder for the integrations which fetches data from a third-party system and loads it into the Kronos. Example, the employee details mostly it flows from a SAP or from Workday. From there, we will get an input file. That input file should be placed in this folder. From this folder, our integration will pick whatever the input file is needed. Our integration will pick it from the Vim folder and will load it to our system. Again, payroll and other things where we fetch the data from our Kronos instance and we are giving it to a third party. The data from our system we are fetching and giving it to the other third party. So those integration they will run and complete and they will place their files in Vim out. So inbound interfaces they will fetch the input file from the Vim folder. Vim out interfaces, that is outbound interfaces, will fetch out files from Vim out folder. So these are the default folders for storing an input file and storing an output file.
Like how frequent the data will be pumped into Kronos in environment?
Kiran, can you repeat once?
How frequent? Like employees is that we.
Employee load happens daily. Employee load happens. Yeah, on a daily basis, person import. There is an integration called person import or employee import. Clients will be naming it differently based on the requirement, but it will happen on a daily basis. Usually, like maybe 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. of the client's time. So that each day we'll get a record from the source system. It can be a SAP, it can be an employee center, it can be a workday, or it can be just a flat file from some place, just an input file. Okay, from that it
we
will
have
be
real possibility for how we can get in the showcasing the data here? Like suppose if you
Here,
have
I
an
think they're
Excel file
doing it through a manual load. I'm not sure. I
Hmm.
don't see any integration currently running up. They have integrations, but I'm not sure how they're doing it. We don't have the for server access to this particular instance. There, like even if you don't have server access, some places what they will give is clients will forbid you from server access, but they will give you some FTP access. They will give you some URL from where you can access these folders alone. So we can upload or download from these folders.
Okay.
We cannot delete or update, but we will be able to upload something and we will be able to download something. So for a particular integration to run our test, if we need an input file, means they will give a FTP access. They will give an URL that will open this folder. We can upload the files, run our integration, test it out, and then we can sign out from it. Similarly, Vim mode also, we can run an integration and go to this folder using the FTP access. The URL, we can directly put it in the Chrome. It will open this folder. We can download the file and verify it.
Okay.
So to the integration tool and other items, it's a completely different URL. They will be giving some Citrix access or some other third-party vendors access. Once you log in through that, you'll be able to see the integration database and the reporting tools and other designers, other suits, etc.
Okay.
And mostly each client, whether they are like whatever the client they are, they will have at least two instances. One is the production, which is live, and one is at least like one will be their development or test environments, the lower environment, where we will first create our configurations and the integrations, everything, and we'll test it out in the lower environment, and then we'll move to the live production. We will never make any changes directly in the production system. We'll create it in the lower environment, and then we'll migrate the changes to the higher environment.
Okay.